We got list number 2 coming up here. We got the top 10 movies of 2014 in my opinion, so let's check it out. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my white room. Now today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 movies of 2014 in my opinion. Keep in mind, I did not see everything which came out this year. There was a lot of great things which are supposed to be great, which I did not watch, and there are some crappers that I did not watch either. So if there is something which has been in other lists, which is not mine, that's probably why. Also, the fact that my 2 theaters that I rely on didn't get everything which came out this year. So, nothing I can really do about that. Starting this list off, let's go to number 10. Number 10 is a movie which I did not actually review on this channel. I watched it many months after it was in theaters and it was out in Redbox, so I watched it because I heard it was good, and it was really good. This is Oculus. This is a film which I got really excited for because it has Karen Gillan in it, it has some other guy in it who I didn't recognize, but the story is very interesting. It's very unique for a horror movie to do what this movie does. It constantly causes you to question what is real in this movie, what is not real in this movie, and I just really like that idea. We never really knew if Karen Gillan's character was crazy or not, or if she was completely sane, and it was just a really interesting premise. Really cool idea. I have it on Blu-ray now, and it is definitely my number 10 choice of 2014. Number 9 is Nightcrawler. This is the Jake Gyllenhaal film which came out in October, and it is very good. It takes a very close look at media, and it really criticizes the media in terms of how they get some of their footage. Jake Gyllenhaal plays one of the most creepy, sociopathic people I've ever seen on film, and this is kind of his new breakout role. He has been doing films for a very long time, but he is now becoming a star and someone who's breaking out into the spotlight, and this movie really helped to kickstart that. It's a very cool movie, very engrossing movie, and while I did have some issues with the end of the film, I really did enjoy it as a whole. It's very interesting. It's definitely my number 9 choice of 2014. Number 8 is How to Train Your Dragon 2. This is the sequel to the film which came out like 2 or 3 years ago, and it's very cool. I usually really find myself liking animated films for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm a kid at heart or something, but it's just a very cool story. It gets really dark at some points, and it's just a very interesting premise. It takes the story in a whole new direction. They could have easily done a repeat of the first film, but they didn't. They made this a very true sequel to the franchise and to the first film, and it's very cool to see Toothless. It's very cool to see all these characters come back for this big awesome movie, and it's definitely deserving of my number 8 spot. My number 7 choice is a film which I got really excited about after seeing, because it was going to change the MCU forever, and that is Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which I happen to just have on hand right here as I'm doing this. This film changed what the MCU was going to look like. And the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, which was happening during this time, is still up and running, really reflected these changes really eminently and is leading the charge for the rest of Phase 2. But all of these main actors, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, and Samuel L. Jackson, they all do fantastic in their roles. This is a very cool spy-esque, espionage-esque movie with Captain America. We really see the essence of who Captain America is and his pursuit for justice, despite the idea of justice being a very difficult thing to achieve. And so this is a very cool movie. Definitely one of my highlights of 2014, and definitely deserving of my number 7 spot on this list. My number 6 spot is Big Hero 6. This is another animated film which came out in November, same weekend as Interstellar too, which is kind of cool. But this is a very neat movie. It's a very heartfelt movie. It starts out very sad, but it's really Marvel-y. It's based on a Marvel comic which nobody's ever heard of before, and it's just really well done. It was one of my favorite movies to walk out of. It gets a little bit quick and fast at the end, but for the most part it's very cool. It has a very dark part in the film which I was really excited for. It really rivals Frozen's dark part, and it was just something which I really got into. I loved the characters, especially Baymax, and this is something that I really want to see a sequel for at some point. So this is definitely my number 6 movie of 2014. Now we're in the top 5. These are the 5 movies which really stuck with me throughout the year, and are movies that I just generally had fun with and walked out of the theater really happy that I went to see them. Number 5 is a movie which just came out this Christmas, Unbroken. Surprisingly, I went into this movie not really expecting a whole lot. I thought it was just going to be kind of a basic World War II film, not really going to do a whole lot new. I walked out of this film really happy that I saw it. The pacing is fantastic, the action is really cool, the story is really gripping and engrossing, and you really feel for this character going through all these events. You see his childhood to his time as a World War II soldier to a POW, where it spends a good chunk of the movie, and just seeing the harshness of this. Angelina Jolie does a fantastic job directing, and this is definitely a film which I would highly recommend going to see if you have the opportunity. And yeah, definitely worthy of my number 5 spot of 2014. Number 4 is a film which did not make a whole lot in the box office, but it was easily one of the best films of 2014, Edge of Tomorrow. This is a Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt film which takes the idea of Groundhog Day and uses it in a very cool action-packed way. A lot of people went into this thinking it was just going to be a basic Tom Cruise action flick, but we get to see Tom Cruise as a coward in this film. This is something that we don't really see him as an actor too often, and we get to see him as a guy who is scared shitless of what is happening to him. Very much similar to how many people would react if they were just forced into a war situation. The film is very enticing, it's very comical at times, and it's just easily a film which I want to watch over and over again. And it's just a very cool film. Definitely my spot for number 4. Now we are into the top 30 films of 2014. I almost said 13. These are films which I really walked out of enjoying the heck out of, and they're easily my favorite films of 2014. I went back and forth switching these around in my head, but easily these are where these spots line up, and these all 3 of these films are fantastic films in their own right. Number 3 is the most recent Hobbit film, The Battle of the Five Armies, and this is a film which had everything that I wanted from the first 2 films. It has action, it has a huge battle. We get to see, as we read the book, I got to see the madness that Thorin dives into. We got to see the huge epic battle between Smaug and Lake Town, and then we also got to see the huge fight which envelops this mountain with the Five Army fight. And it's just a very cool film. It had everything that I really wanted it to have, and it was easily a film which I walked out of really happy that I saw. As someone who did not really enjoy the first 2 films that much, I really enjoyed this one. It really just lifted everything much higher, and it got me really happy that the series is done, but that it ended on a very high note. So the Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, definitely my choice for number 3. And now we are on the top 2. Number 2 in this spot is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This is a film which took the idea of Rise of the Planet of the Apes and just escalated it 10 times higher, 100 times higher, and just made it so much better in every capacity. Caesar is a much more interesting character in this time. Not that he wasn't in the first one, but he's just elevated so much higher. The interactions between the humans and the apes is very neat and very cool to see, as Caesar tries to develop some trust along with the other apes, while the humans also do. But you know ultimately how this has to end, and it's very saddening. The ending is just an emotional roller coaster in every sense of the word, and it's just very cool to see this thing on film, and definitely worthy of my number 2 spot of 2014. And my number 1 movie of 2014 is easily a film which I had the most fun at the theater. I was able to just sit back and enjoy this best film in Marvel's Phase 2, and that is Guardians of the Galaxy, which I also happen to just have on hand right here. And this movie does everything that I wanted to. It had action, it had humor, it had emotional parts. You got to feel for a lot of these characters and what they had to go through and their backstories. And Chris Pratt does fantastic in the leading role. This was a very humorous movie. It knew how to time its comedic moments. Groot and Rocket Raccoon were easily 2 of my favorite characters out of this year, and this film just did everything that I could possibly want it to do. And so Guardians of the Galaxy is easily my number one choice for both the summer and for 2014. So that is my list of the top 10 movies, in my opinion, of 2014. I did not, like I said earlier, see everything which came out this year. I wish I had, but I did not. So let me know anything that you thought should have been included in this list down in the comments down below. Did you agree with anything on my list? Did you disagree with a lot on my list? Let me know what you guys thought were the top movies of 2014 down in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you so choose, I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on watching.